This is probably the biggest update for the Western audience for Lost Ark. It's time to get excited. What's good? What's poppin', everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to, as you can guess, another Lost Ark video. Guys, I'm super excited about this one. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions about it. All matter, but essentially, this is the biggest update article, kind of mini roadmap that Amazon has given us in Smilegate since the launch of the Lost Ark in West. Now, I'm going to leave a link for this below, so go check it out yourselves if you guys are interested in looking over it. But I'm going to go over it with you guys here. I've read over it, so I can kind of skim and give you guys the main takeaways from this and why I think it really looks good for Lost Ark. And I'm really glad to see this early on from Lost Ark versus what happened with New World. If you guys have been on my channel before, I used to cover New World content, and New World was kind of having a dry spell of just these bugs, and there was no new content being added and kind of like weird communication with the devs. And now this seems like Lost Ark, they've gotten their shit together, so it's really good to see. So let's talk about it right here. It says Heroes of Arcadia. We can't believe it's already been over a month since Lost Ark launched to Western audiences. They have been working tirelessly to kind of combat everything, the stability issues, bots, preparing new content, everything. They wanted to first thank us for everything and say that, you know, they are dedicated to make sure that this is going to keep going. So I'm glad to hear this, because there's been some problems with the Argos update that just came out with Lost Ark. People are upset because of the honing rates. We couldn't get to 1370 really reliably to actually do the Argos rate, and people were worried about it. And people are starting to kind of feel like Lost Ark was going to become what happened with New World. And I can tell you guys, based off of this, it's so much more clear. So we're going to go over it. They can talk about all that here. So they look behind the curtain, progression, Argos, content, roadmap, and skins. They said launching Lost Ark on the West has been a wonderful, humbling, and great learning experience for us at Amazon Games and Smilegate RPG. Their journey has been of, long nights, creative things, all that. And what they really wanted to talk about was how in Korea, you weren't actually able to get to T3 right when it came out. It was only T1 and T2. And in the West, they let us go up to T3. And they obviously they had some content. And they say right here, they had for 1370, such as, Night Fox Yoho, the Guardians, World Bosses, Ghost Pirate Ships, Chaos Dungeons, and Abyssal Dungeons, hard modes in Punica. And this was kind of the intro to it and everything. When they released Argos, people were really concerned because, and they talk about it here, with that important context, let's talk about Argos. We've seen player concerns that releasing Argos before a significant portion of player base had progressed through tier 3 made Lost Ark feel pay to win. We never wanted players to feel rushed to quest to hit item level 1370. We considered having Argos available at launch, but viewed the Abyss raid as an important stepping stone, helping bridge the gap to endgame activities that have yet to be released in this version of Lost Ark. We're looking at Legion raids. Through that lens, we wanted to give Argos a spotlight and a special introduction to Arcadia. And they talk about it down here about how the biggest thing was, T3 essentially materials and the absence of them. And I'm going to preface this with you guys. They didn't say this, so honing rates don't seem to be increasing by this. But what they are trying to do is they're going to try to increase the amount of materials that we have available for us. So take that as you will. I still like that they're trying to combat it rather than just increasing the rates. I still think that increasing the honing rates should probably happen. I mean, if you think about it, we're looking at like a 1% chance to get I think it's like 0.3% damage increase when you get very on end game. Because I've looked at stuff from like Kanon, who's a really great, he played it over in the Korean servers, and then he's played now in West, just talking about the differences and stuff. When you get way down in an end game with the higher item levels, you're looking at like less than marginal increases in damage for a crazy amount of luck and grinding. But moving into this, they talk about how they have been, listening to everything. They've been watching videos, streams, going on the Discord, Reddits, all that stuff. And they kind of wanted to talk about overall about what they're doing. Their approach to Endgame is kind of what they said before, is that they want to release it. They're not going to be releasing the more Endgame content now. They're going to be waiting for that. Instead, they're going to try to focus on being able to make what they currently have more accessible to more people, which I think is a great addition. I think that's what people were kind of upset about with Argos, was that Argos was released, new endgame content, but there's no way for us to get there. It's kind of funny because that's like the opposite problem New World had, where New World, we needed more endgame content because you could get there, but then there was nothing at the end there. So it's funny that this is kind of like the opposite problem that we're having, because Lost Ark is more of a grind, horizontal progress thing versus like New World, which is singular character. But they said here, don't worry, more content is coming soon. Horizontal content class, like new classes, islands, and the continent of Southburn will release as planned. We will share a more comprehensive look at our own content roadmap for April and May in the near future after our weekend of in-studio collaboration is included in the plans have been finalized. So they talk about this in here, but essentially coming next week when they're done with their, in-studio collaboration thing, they will be able to give us a better roadmap and kind of figure out exactly what classes are coming out. Now, there's like some rumors that it's going to be, at first it was going to be the Lance Master because it was shown in like one of the videos. And now people are saying that maybe the Painter might come out just because it was the last class released in Korea. And then some people are also saying that it's going to be the Arcana and the Destroyer because there was like some leaked thing that ended up getting deleted that took you to Lost Ark website, all this thing. So we don't have anything for sure yet, but there are new classes on the horizon. I'm hoping they're going to be doing a batch of at least 2, hopefully like 3 classes would be really awesome to add to the game. I know a lot of people are upset because it's like, why are you playing a class that's not going to be your main right now? And so there's not, you don't really want to play the game, or at least grant all the materials and get all the stuff for your one character that you're not even going to be playing at the moment. So I get that. I personally am really looking forward to the Lance Master and the Scouter. So I'm looking forward to those classes, but I'm trying to make do until they come out. They've also talked about other things about how fast things are going to be, classes and stuff are going to be released. And they admitted here that classes will release faster, and the goal is to catch up. So obviously Korea has like quite a bit more classes. I want to say it's around 10. And they recognize this and it's been their goal from day one to actually catch up to it, but it was going to take, they had a different kind of timeline. And because they've seen so much feedback about that we want more skins and more classes, they are looking to see that they're going to be ramping it up. So I don't know if that means that they were going to release, a class every month, if they were going to do 2 a month, and now it's like 3 a month. I'm not sure. They don't really discuss what their original plan was and what's changing. They said they're going to let us know soon. They're going to share specifics in the upcoming roadmap that they're working on with Smile Good RPG in the studio this week. Moving on to the next really big part of this, which is the economy, bots, and honing materials. So first and foremost, they just were saying bots, just like New World, just like most games. I feel like with MMOs, there's always going to be bots, and they're going to continue to combat it. They've kind of already implemented some stuff where you don't get as much gold in the beginning anymore, which is one of the reasons why people were doing bots. And they have done a huge number of bans for them. So that's really great. And they said they're going to continue to work on it. But moving on to the more juicy stuff, which is the honing materials. Now, the honing materials, like I said a little bit earlier, it doesn't seem that they don't talk anything here about increasing the honing chance percent rate. So instead, they're trying to give us more honing materials. And that is going to be through Vent Guardian raids, Arcadia Grand Prix adjustments, and PvP. The new PvP season is coming out, the very first one. So going over this, the Vent Guardian raids, they said it's going to be a more casual way to do Guardian raids. Relax, play, and get honing materials. Similar to the Grand Prix, you do it once per day per roster. I don't know if that means that you're still going to be like where the Grand Prix is like on even hours. You can heal up for whatever. I'm not sure. They don't talk about that here. They're going to release more details next week. But essentially going to be able to go into this. They say that we can challenge Helgia, Frost Helgia, Lumerus, Ernil, Virtus, Cormanium, Nar, Cassena, and Dark Legoros, Ice Legoros, Calventus, and Levanos. So a good chunk of them. It says that we will be able to challenge all of them, and that it's the scale of balance is applied to change the character stats to match the Guardian's level, and the difficulty is adjusted according to the number of participants in the raid. So starting at 250, from what I can gather from this, starting at 250, you're going to be able to do even the very high-end raids, and you're going to be scaled up to it. And what I actually like about that is, I think this is something that no one's really thinking about, but this will help people learn mechanics in a more casual environment, so that when they do get to these raids, maybe they're not there yet, they're going to understand the mechanics more. And so you're going to have a lot less wipes with the Guardian raids coming around. You're going to have less people not knowing what they're doing and people getting frustrated. So I think that's like a cherry on the top to this. I think this is a great way to get people into the Guardian raids and learn the mechanics, and you get honing materials for it. So that's really great to see. The Grand Prix adjustments, essentially they're just they're increasing the amount of event coins you get, and they're adding tailoring books and metallurgy books to the rule table to increase honing rates. So they're just trying to give you ways to increase the rate yourself rather than just giving a flat adjustment rate. I don't know. They might come out and say we're going to increase it by a little bit. They haven't said anything in this post yet, but they're giving us a lot of ways to get materials to be able to keep progressing. And then one of my favorite things out of this whole thing is the very first PvP season is coming out. Now, I don't know if you haven't played Lost Ark PvP, it's a very high skill cap thing. It's a lot of stagger checks, or not stagger checks, but there's a lot of stagger in the game. You have to dodge. It's really based on like skill and dodging, and I really like it. But it was so lackluster to be playing because you couldn't get anything out of it. And then there's like fever time now, you know, when for dailies and stuff, and you were able to get tokens, but then there was no PvP vendor. It's like been this weird kind of convoluted thing. And finally, season 1 of Competitive Proving Grounds will be coming out. And you're going to be able to get around honing materials. You're going to be able to get more rewards. I think there's even skins you can get from this stuff. So I'm super excited about that. And again, all this stuff, they're going to be giving more details towards next week. So Monday is when they say, I think they're starting the March 21st when they meet up. And then they're meeting up this week, and then March 21st, we're going to hopefully be able to start hearing some stuff. And then by Thursday, their maintenance, I'm assuming, is when the next big update is going to be coming around. Now, that's obviously subject to change, but that's how they've been doing it. It's been on Thursdays when they do maintenance, and it's down for 6 hours or so. And that's when the update is going to come. Now, the last little bit to this, and I think, again, this is really cool of the game, like Amazon. I don't know if I want to say it's Amazon or Smilegate, because Amazon never did anything like this for New World. So it's kind of, I feel like maybe Smilegate is pushing a little bit more for this, and I really do appreciate it because it makes us as players feel a lot more rewarded or heard, or, you know, just a good thanks. So essentially, out in Korea, when the game came out, they were given a gift essentially to celebrate the launch for the Western audience, and they decided that they're going to give it to us now. Now, this is going to have new animal skin selection set, a Mokoken pet selection, Mokoko board mount selection chest, Lost Ark United structure, appearance change ticket, Feon's, Menelix tomes, legendary card packs, and a jukebox song for the jukebox that's going to be added in the future. Now, we can just see these things here. They're all Mokoko. Now, if you don't like Mokokos, I'm sorry. These two things probably aren't going to be your thing. I kind of like the Mokokos. Some of them, you know, we're not going to get Mokokos. That's another topic for another video. But we get all these different skins here. This thing you can put on your stronghold looks like, plus Feon's, Melix tomes and stuff. And we just get it for free. And they said that we're going to be receiving this gift in the March of the 21st after the weekly update and maintenance. So expect to get this probably on Thursday, maybe Friday of next week. So about a week from today. Super awesome to see this. Overall, guys, biggest takeaways from all this is that they're listening and they're being upfront and honest. And that's something that, again, I'm going to relate it to New World because it's something that I was familiar with. Amazon's last game, and they're still working on it, but they are very unclear about their updates. They were working on more bug fixes than anything, and it's really good to see that we're not focusing on that here. There's been some bug fixes and some stuff, instability that they fix pretty quickly, but they're already focusing on the new content and listening to player feedback. Biggest takeaways are that Argos is kind of the first to the endgame content, but they're going to be holding off on the endgame content while they add some stuff to make people be able to catch up to 1370, make it a little bit more balanced for people to kind of play more casually and catch up to it without having to grind super hard and then never feel like you can never actually reach 1370 and do the endgame content. So they're waiting to do that. And the way they're doing that is by adding more honing materials for us to be getting through Event Guardian raids, Arcadia Grand Prix adjustments, and PvP rewards for the new season that's coming out. And classes are on the way. Now, they don't say which ones. Hopefully find out next week. But they said they're going to be releasing classes faster. Hopefully that's about 2 or 3 a month is like what most people are wanting. That means by the end of this summer, maybe we probably could be caught up to Korea, which would be really awesome. I think it would be cool if they did kind of like a poll maybe, because they have all the classes, right? All the data and stuff code for it from the Korea service. They put up a poll, and like the top 3 most popular ones that like people want in the West are the first 3. I think that'd be a cool little thing. I don't think they're going to do that, but it would be cool to see because they do seem to care about the community. And I think there's a lot of community, like people are like really, really wanting the painter. I don't even like support, but I think that class just looks so cool. And I'd love to see it in the Western audience. So I'd love to see that be one of the first classes to come over, though it probably won't be because it was like the last class put in Korea, but we're not sure yet. And you guys, I can keep rambling on. I'm just really excited for Lost Ark. I almost said New World there. Lost Ark is a very fun, good PvP MMO game. All this stuff like that I wanted Lost Ark or New World to be. I keep messing up the 2 words. Lost Ark is everything that I kind of wanted New World to be. Now, New World, I'm still on the eyes for. I'm still watching stuff. I'm going to play when the new update comes out and all this stuff. But Lost Ark for the moment is like looking to be a really great MMO while we hold out for, you know, New World to maybe get better, for maybe League of Legends or Riot Games MMO. Lost Ark will be more than satisfactory. It's a very fun game, has a lot of content for it, and they're only going to be better from here. You guys, I think that's going to do it. If you guys did enjoy this, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I think that's going to do it. Have a great day, guys. Until next time, take it easy.